the podcast is Secret Service Sam. The podcast. It's not so secret because you're here. Yeah.
Wow, guys, this is Secret Service Sam Sampson. How are you guys? That is my new theme song. I just made that about 5 minutes before I did this show. I'm very excited. This is one of my first reincarnations of my podcast. I've been doing Samson's World. You can see the sign behind me for a very long time, but now I'm doing a little Secret Service, Sam's Secret Service, secret podcast, something like that. And today, my guest is none other than Dr. Leslie Dobson. Let me get Dr. Leslie on TikTok. Hello, Dr. Leslie. How are you?
Hello, I'm very good, thank you.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay. I can hear you very clearly, actually.
Okay.
Now you're in your office where I have been. I think I cried on the couch you're sitting on. Is that right?
Yeah, just to the right
To
of
the
me
right
is
of
where you
you.
cried.
There's probably still some DNA that you're able to pull up from that.
Yeah. So if we need to frame you,
Yeah,
I will.
exactly. Now, also, you have to your right is a jail cell that you have in your studio slash
I do.
therapy. Yeah, you can show it
I
to the
can
people
move
for a
it,
second.
but
Yeah.
I may drop the camera, but
Wow. Okay, they see it. That's
there,
pretty amazing. That's awesome.
fully functioning.
I'll go
But
full screen
w-
on it. Yeah, I'll go full screen on
we
you.
also have, a pink kitchen if you want to feel happy.
Okay, that is beautiful. Look at that, everybody. And I love all your
So,
appliances. It's called Schmeg, right?
yes, Meg.
The Schmeg. Yeah, I said Schmeg. Schmeg is like a dirtier way of saying it, really. Um, Let me see too. I want to check. I mean, we are live on YouTube right now, which is very exciting. Um, so, Dr. Leslie, let's get right into it. Um, I met you on TikTok, right? Through well, because you've put me on to every single TikToker from Sean Atwood to Lionel B. You've really hooked me up, so I have to give you some major props. You've been you hooked me up with Katie, the woman who's helped me with TikTok. She was so informative. So
Yeah.
I'm going to take a chapstick break. Somebody in
Are
the
you like
comments said,
you're a chapstick person?
I don't know. I didn't know those were people.
Uh,
But somebody in
mm,
the comments told me,
yeah.
Sam, your lips look ashy. So I got to make sure, yours are, you're always looking good, Leslie. You're always, you know, makeup fresh and looking great. But,
Yeah, I'm
I
probably
need
just
to,
more vain, pretty vain.
there you go. There you go. Now, so Leslie,
Um,
I want to talk. So tell the people a little bit about who you are and your background, so we can, people can get to know you a little bit.
okay. I'll try to keep it clean.
Yeah,
Uh,
please, please. No,
I
don't. I don't know. It's YouTube, so maybe we don't have to be as clean. But let me, just I'll stop you if it gets too crazy.
um I am a psychologist, but I'm mostly acting as a forensic psychologist, not a clinical psychologist right now. So clinical is when you're, doing therapy, and forensic is when you're interacting with the legal system. So most of my career has been with criminals inside institutions and on the outside. So working with them or testifying against them. And lately I work with higher end A-listers and celebrities in civil litigation. So they're either
Wow.
being sued or they are suing. And I
Okay.
do psychological batteries on them to determine their truthfulness. And
Ah,
yeah, it's both sides. So if somebody is being
interesting.
accused of SA or if they are saying they didn't do it.
Right. And I was wondering because, I connected to the dots that the private investigators that visited me were the same guys who had been harassing Tony Busby. And I was trying to figure out if I could I do have
Yeah.
psychological damage from the interaction, but I just don't know if there's anything I can do about it.
Oh, sure, you can sue.
I know, but I talked to my lawyer today, And he was saying, yes, you can, but it's very expensive because nobody's going to take you, like, hey, we don't pay unless we collect, you're going to have to pay all along. I don't know. He made it seem like it
Yeah.
was not, it was an uphill battle, I guess.
Um, it may be worth pursuing a little later once the lawyers are less focused on everything else right now,
Got it. Now,
right?
yeah, exactly. Now, have you been getting shadow banned at all, or have you been experiencing any blowback, say, from talking about the Diddy stuff or anything around that? Obviously, I had private investigators come visit me. Feel like TikTok kind of shadow bans you, if you will.
Yeah, which is really wild, right? Because it's a
Mm,
Chinese company. But
right.
yeah, I would say any video where I mention Sean Combs, Sean Carter, Diddy,
Hmm.
Jay-Z, Beyonce, is not put onto the For You page. And my followers could see it if they were to like go onto my profile and click. But
Hmm.
there's definitely a ban occurring.
Wow. And
And
explain
yeah.
to people, what does that mean? I mean, are you able to monetize? Or I know your account has gotten very close, to getting shut down or whatnot because you're talking about pretty hardcore things, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, rightfully so. There are some
Hmm.
things I should not have posted because they violate the community standards,
The
whichever those
guide
are.
community guidelines,
Um,
I know.
yes. So, for example, somebody who sells her body,
Hmm.
her videos could stay up, but me talking about her videos could not stay up, and they were taken
Right.
down.
Yeah, that's the crazy part about it is, and I think because, if people don't know, TikTok is ran by basically an AI service that either accepts or denies, and you can appeal community guideline violations. And most times you get the video back, but I had a video recently, I told you, where it was called Don't Pay Your Bills, Aliens Are Coming. They took it down. I appealed it. They put it back up. And then they just randomly took it back again. And, that video was worth like $300. So it's just like they literally can steal money from you. So that's why we're here on YouTube and I'm working to build up
Yeah.
my subscribers. How many subscribers do you have here on YouTube?
I haven't really looked at maybe around 30,000. I
Damn,
haven't
I
really
haven't really
started
looked.
it.
Maybe 30? Good Lord. That's pretty
Well,
impressive
so
for I haven't really started it, but I had like 30,000. I mean, God, you're killing me, Leslie.
it's, a year ago, I quit the government and I
Okay.
said, I want to start sharing the stories of what's inside those walls on the outside. And
Okay, I
I
like
think
that.
people like to hear it. And I think maybe
Yep.
I tell it in a kind of a digestible way.
Yep.
Um,
You're
so
amazing.
it grew a following really quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, yeah, now we're gonna move to YouTube, but then my YouTube is gonna be split because I'm starting a podcast with iHeartRadio, which
Right,
you
right,
are
which
a
I was on.
guest on.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you.
Um, so that'll start March 6th.
And
But
where
I
will they
definitely
find
think
that? On iHeartRadio, or will it be through also on YouTube or
it'll be on their app, it'll be on
okay.
Spotify, anywhere you can listen on Apple, it'll
Okay.
be on YouTube.
Okay.
But I definitely think YouTube is the safest source of income for people because the
That's what
other
I'm hearing.
platforms do feel unstable.
Yeah. Yeah, they really do. I mean, what do
Yeah.
you think about the TikTok ban? Do you have any inside scoopity dupes on that, or what do you think, Leslie?
You know, the only thought I have, I know a lot of people in TikTok security,
Okay.
and because
Do tell.
I interviewed for a job there. I interviewed for a
What?
job. I can't even say the name of it because the name is so graphic, but you're basically the person
Okay.
who watches the horrifying videos that go up, you catch them and you take them down right away.
Oh, that sounds awful. That's a
Yeah.
very tough job to have, I would have to say. I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't think I could do that job very well. Because those, like,
Well,
I
I
knew a guy who I worked with who actually enjoyed watching those, like, animals, unaliving videos. And I'm like, you're a sick person. But go ahead. So
yeah,
that's the job they were going to hire you for? They're like, Dr. Leslie, we think you can handle this to watch all the
yeah.
crazy videos. Wow.
Yeah, because my
And
specialty is in high risk SA offenders.
okay.
So I have extensive training on predators and what it does to the victims. And so
Okay.
I can watch that kind of stuff. I
Oh,
can
wow.
compartmentalize it,
Okay.
and for the greater good, standing
Hmm.
on the wall and kind of protecting the community from stuff they do not want to see.
Interesting.
Um,
Like, is that something you had to train to, like you said, compartmentalize? Or are you just kind of, hey, I'm like a surgeon who's like, hey, I'm splitting somebody's head open, but I'm able to stay calm because I'm a surgeon, you know?
yeah, I mean, I think
Was it that?
some people are like that already. They have a tendency towards being able to compartmentalize, and then you
Hmm.
kind of have to do it during the job, and you get trained. You have really good supervisors, and it gets easier. But I think I'm on the other bad end now, where I'm a little too cold and callous, and I have to say to
Oh.
myself, okay, turn the empathy on.
At least you recognize that, I guess. You're like, turn the empathy on, Leslie.
Mm.
This is a murder scene, okay? Stop
Yes,
laughing. Stop making jokes.
yeah, like a Secret Service Sam is crying next to me.
Yeah.
Look like you
Yeah.
care.
Yeah, I didn't get any hugs at all. You weren't like, "Oh my God." And I was just totally traumatized. I actually too. And then, from Sean Atwood, Ron Swanson and I have a podcast, and I cried on our first podcast. This is like, I don't know. I think I always say, like, you guys have menopause, and we have menopause is what I call it, because I get hot flashes, and now I cry a lot on podcasts. But he had me talk to Beverly, who's a psychic medium, and she pulled the car accident out I had of me, and just like I was sobbing. It was crazy.
It's really a wonderful feeling to like in a healthy setting let it go. I mean, I don't know about like on a worldwide platform.
Right. It was, yeah, I know. Hey, Leslie, I'm not scared. Ron asked if they could get into my head, and I'm like, yeah, whatever, not thinking anything of it. And of course, everybody I told was skeptical. They're like, well, she could have Googled you. They like to say that. But when I was like crying and this release, like I felt some type of force in
Yeah.
me. She was inside me, and it felt pretty good, I have to say.
Interesting.
Thank you, Leslie. So, Leslie, I want to talk about some of the hot topics of today. What were you making? What were you talking about today on TikTok? Because I know, just running down the line, I was talking about J Lo. People were thinking she's potentially celeb B. Were you having any interest in any of that today?
Well, so I have friends who toured with J-Lo
Uh oh.
back during those pivotal years
Okay.
of the shooting of
Right.
maybe someone being framed, and
Mm.
they really thought like J-Lo fought a lot with Diddy Puff, but they just didn't see her being a part of the SA, and
Mm.
they they really still find that hard to believe. And I'm wondering, so if we actually see the full complaint, I know that for some reason her name was redacted, maybe accidentally, maybe strategically, or I'm sorry,
Okay.
unredacted. I imagine it's because she's named at being at the hotel during an incident. I'm not going to jump and say it's because she's the female third party named in the sexual assault, or I'm sorry,
Mm.
the SA with
Sure. Yeah. I think we're okay on
yeah.
YouTube a little bit better. But just so people don't
Okay.
understand,
I
like
never
on
know.
TikTok, we have to be very careful about our words. But continue. Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, I think a lot of big names are going to be in these complaints because
Sure.
they're around these situations, but it doesn't mean that they're a part of them. So that kind of went crazy,
Yeah.
on social media yesterday. But I wouldn't draw any conclusions
Got
necessarily.
it. because there, I mean, people are trying to say that she is celebrity, whatever it was, C or whatever, who was watching, the one who was the voyeur in the corner. I can't even joke about it.
Yeah.
But it's just,
Yeah. I mean,
and then and then of course Jay-Z came out, his lawyer, which I think you said you were just talking. Who were you just talking with? Alex Spiro, you had said before. Can we talk about
um,
that, or was that private?
oh no, I have a friend of a friend who messaged him, and
Okay.
I said, this is the kind of work I do.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I try to see who's telling the truth. And
Mm.
I do have a lot of questions about that particular accusation against
Okay.
Sean Carter. And
Okay.
my kind of my worry is that it may not be entirely valid. And reading
Mm.
through it, it did have a lot of inconsistencies that with other victims of SA, they aren't
Right.
usually that inconsistent. So
Yeah.
I just offered my services
Mm.
to him.
Okay. Yeah, I'm wondering, how does that slide through? How does Tony Busby? Because obviously, when that came out on Jay Z, it was all over the internet, and in a matter of 24 hours,
Yeah.
he was, for all intents and purposes, done, cooked. You can't have that kind of rumor go around about you and not have it do damage. But
Yeah.
then, and that's something I guess we all have to consider. We jump to it. Okay, this is what we've heard. It's happening allegedly, and then Tony Busby says things. Well, what about the 5 hour card ride to and from? The dad doesn't remember it. Come on. That doesn't
Yeah.
sound believable. They said she snuck out at 3 p.m. in the afternoon. Why is she sneaking out at 3 p.m. in the afternoon?
Yeah.
Then, when she was running out of the party, she said she saw Benji Madden from Good Charlotte, who I never liked their music really, but he wasn't there. Apparently, he said he was on tour. So there's a lot of holes in that. But now
Yeah.
Tony Busby is hit back with this lawsuit that he's suing Rock Nation. And those are the same private investigators that visited me. What do you think about all that to unpackage?
First, I cannot believe that the public is so aware. I just cannot believe that these lawyers are duking it out on social media. But what they're
Right.
doing is they're leveraging free press. They're leveraging these
Mm,
platforms, and they're actually finally playing into where the public opinion lies.
mm,
So it's kind of brilliant, but it's also really sad and pathetic for the real victims, because they're making a
right.
mockery out of people's lives who their lives have been completely and utterly ruined.
Right, right. Yeah, and I mean, I think you're right. I mean, I guess I could consider myself one of those people who I mean, I'm getting likes, comments, and views off talking about these issues or stories. But I guess, if we don't do it, somebody else will. At least we're good at it. And we're good looking. And
Well,
I think that makes a difference.
yeah. Um, people have messaged me saying that the only way they hear about this is
Okay.
through our platforms, especially
Yeah.
people who live in Canada, Australia,
Mm.
and Morocco.
Why is that? Why those three?
It just, for me, it's the most common person who reaches out and explains that there's censorship in their countries.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I mean, even I feel like we're experiencing censorship. People have talked about on TikTok that Luigi Mangione videos, the claims adjuster, the American hero, they're calling him, that
Yeah.
those videos are kind of getting shadow banned. Or, I've even noticed, even if you talk about, let's just say the war in rhymes with La Raza, that you don't see anybody talking about that at all on TikTok. So it's interesting. TikTok allows you to talk about things. They're not, it's like you're in their house. So you can't really, it's interesting. We don't really have free speech. You know what I mean? It's to, what website can you go on and really just say whatever you want? And, you know,
I mean, maybe maybe it's X,
Yeah, that's
because
true.
but Elon Musk has said that there are limits, right? So
Mm,
if there is a law broken, he will do something about it. So, but
right.
there is a great deal of freedom. I mean, with what Mel Gibson posted
Right.
today.
Yeah, there you go. Let's talk about that. Mel Gibson posted, and let me see, Leslie, I'm going to attempt to bring that up right now as we're talking. Mel
People should go on X and screenshot that because I wonder how long that's going to stay there.
Epstein list. I mean, probably. I mean, Elon Musk does not care. Let's see. Now, if somebody's saying no,
No,
Mel Gibson. Oh wait, no, Mel Gibson did not release a video of satanic rituals. Okay, no, that's not the one.
not a video,
I
just a
have to. I
list.
can't go on my phone because I'm on my phone doing this. Let's see.
Oh, you want to pull up the list?
Yeah, can you do it on your end or no? Let me
I
see.
can read
Okay.
it.
Yeah, can you read it? Let's do that. Can you? Okay,
Yeah,
hold
let me
on.
see.
No, no. Okay, why don't you do that, Leslie? Read that to us because I promised some people
Yeah.
we would read that list, and because it's funny. The last, just fly through it like the old McDonald's song. You ready?
Well, I'm wondering if
Uh-oh.
I'm wondering if it's there.
Is it? I mean, yeah. Like it was. I actually, damn it, I screenshotted it and I should have brought it on here. That was my bad, my ADHD. I did not prepare quickly enough. Let me see if we can get in here to Twitter so we can
He
show the good
definitely, I
stuff.
mean, he names people that are
It's just
just
okay.
shocking. I mean, you
Mel, let me
wouldn't.
see. Mel Gibson.
But also,
Uh,
he's an interesting character. I don't know him.
Here's a list endorsing swearing Kamala. Okay, here we go. We ready? Here's the list everybody's been
Yeah.
waiting for. Can we get in trouble for this? This is all
No, I mean it's
allegedly. This is all alleged. This is on Mel Gibson's X Twitter page. It does have a blue check mark. Let me verify that. Um, I mean, shoot. I mean, it's crazy. So he says, here's a list of some of the Satanists endorsing, supporting Kamala Harris because they are on the Epstein Diddy client list. Okay, Kamala Harris, she lost. There's a lot coming out. Beyonce, Samuel Jackson, Oprah, Barack, and Mike Obama, Bill and Hillary Clinton, Sarah Jessica Parker, Eminem, Taylor Swift, Stevie Nicks, Willie Nelson, Brittany Spencer, Margaret Price, Cher, Mark Anthony, Lizzo, Usher, Olivia Rodrigo, John Legend, and Chrissy Teigen, Cardi B, Kesha, Billie Eilish, her brother Phineas, Chappell Roan, Bruce Springsteen. Oh, that one hurts. Neil Young, that hurts. Beyonce's mom, Tina Knowles, Charlie XCX, Whoopi Goldberg, George Clooney, Barbara Streisand, Rosie O'Donnell, Jamie Lee Curtis, Cynthia Dixon, Mindy Kaling, of course, she can go down. Tony Goldwyn, Carrie, wow, from Parks and Rec. Jane Fonda, Kathy Griffin, John
mm.
Stamos, Ed Helms, Tiffany Haddish, she's one of my best friends. Ouch. Ike
See,
Barinholtz, I'll
like
check with
what
Tiffany.
is this?
Tiffany Haddish has not been on Epstein Island. That is impossible. Ike Barinholtz, no. I don't believe it. Matt Damon, that's possible. Lin-Manuel Miranda, Aubrey Plaza, Jennifer Aniston, Mel Brooks, Linda Carter, LeVar Burton, Anthony Rapp, Misha Collins, Mark Hamill, Robert De Niro, Jennifer Lawrence, Fran Drescher, Bryan Cranston, Anne Hathaway. Okay, just hold on. Just to let everybody know, we're only halfway through the list, Dr. Leslie. Are you ready for
It's
more?
it's like it's
It's
like he named
exhausting.
everyone he could possibly think of on IMDb.
Here we go. Ken Burns, Spike Lee, Aaron Sorkin, Andy Cohen, Mark Cuban. Andy Cohen wasn't even famous then. Bill Gates, Martha Stewart. Bill Gates is possible. Geraldo Rivera, Sigourney Weaver, Reese Witherspoon, Tom Hanks, Rita Wilson, Uma Thurman, George Takei, Julia Roberts, Meryl Streep, Sharon Stone, Ben Stiller, Kristen Stewart, Martin Sheen, Mark Ruffalo, Tyra Perry, Jennifer Aniston, Demi Moore, Leonardo DiCaprio, George Clooney, Michelle Pfeiffer, Jeff Bridges, Mel Brooks, Bette Midler, Elizabeth Banks, Olivia Wilde, Portia de Rossi, yeah, we knew it. Where's Ellen? Julianne Moore, Alyssa Milano, Blake Lively, Eva Longoria, Jennifer Lawrence, Ashley Judd, Katie Holmes, Ethan Hawke, Mark Hamill, Jennifer Garner, Sally Field. Why? Morgan Fairchild. I think she's not alive. Hillary Duff, John Cusack, Jamie Lee Curtis, Lily Collins, I love John Cusack, John Cleese, comedy legend, Glenn Close, Mel Brooks, no Mel Gibson, Ellen DeGeneres, there she is, Bill Maher, Patton Oswalt, Ratatouille, Chris Rock, Amy Schumer, Foo Fighters, Green Day, yeah, Foo Fighters can go, Little Nas X, Fat Joe, John Bon Jovi, Little Nas X wasn't even born yet. Lady Gaga, Ariana Grande,
See,
Selena Gomez, Joan Jett, Carole King, Jennifer Lopez, Demi Lovato, Moby, Katie, and are you ready? Pink. And are you ready for this, Dr. Leslie? Stevie Wonder, who can actually see and ain't blind. And then he goes, Stephen King. Oh my God. I literally, I'm lightheaded. I hope everybody out there in freaking YouTube land appreciates that. I just read off the
what?
whole list. I'm probably going to get in trouble for that.
No, I mean,
Lord.
what?
I mean, Lord.
What
Yeah,
is he
what is right?
doing?
I don't know.
What is he
What
doing?
is Mel Gibson doing? And Dr. Leslie, are you Jewish?
25%.
Okay. I'm a full Drew, full Drew. And you remember he went on his whole anti-Semitic rant in Malibu where he was arrested, drunk, belligerent, like it's the Jews, it's their, you know. So it's just funny how now he's Mr. Morally high grounds, and do you trust Mel Gibson? You're an expert in being able to tell people telling the truth. Do you believe this list?
No, not at all. One, we've got very, very obvious fact checking that needs to occur. But two, why do it? It's ridiculous. There are so many people named, and again, what is happening is we're trying to get down to the specifics of bad behavior.
Right.
I mean, maybe he's naming people who once attended the Oscars. It seems like something's not right in there.
Right. It's not a fair and biased list. It seems like it's just all
Yeah.
people who we could recognize as, say, liberal celebrities or whatnot. And Mel, we know which way Mel goes. We're pretty certain about that. He rewrote history in Passion of the Christ. Um, Now, what do you think about Luigi Mangione? Okay, do you have a crush on him? Like every other
No.
woman in the world? Okay, because do you think that's weird coming from a forensic psychologist? Is this odd that women are like, oh my God, I want to, hop on that stick in the cell or something?
Um, he doesn't have face tattoos, so that's good.
There you go.
You
Yeah, he
know,
is clean. I mean, he's Abercrombie
he's
and Fitch
clean.
fresh.
Yeah. But
You know,
yeah, no, I think it's so hard to understand. I fully understand the world's reaction to this, but
right,
also we're minimizing such a horrific crime that
right,
I can't hold both together. It's such a struggle. I really
right,
appreciate him bringing awareness to healthcare, but not in that way. And
right.
there are other
Exactly.
ways.
Right. It's like I don't celebrate at all what happened, but it's hard for us because everybody's been affected and this goes to show it's like the king has fallen or something. And poor Brian Thompson ended up having to be the face of this thing. But Americans have been so fed up with getting screwed over and not getting free health insurance. But yeah, I want to know, like, what do you think the psychology is? It's one thing that, okay, find the guy attractive in the circumstances, and you're okay. This is kind of, people are like, he's brave. He did something that they feel, whatever.
Yeah.
But to say they're like, oh, I want a piece of, he's not something you bring home to mom and dad. Clearly he's not okay to
Yeah.
take something this far, but it took going this far to get us all to pay attention.
Yeah. And that's unfortunate. But I do think, he waived extradition. He was in court today. He's been
Mm-hmm.
seen mumbling to himself.
Mm.
He peed his pants in those images.
That's
Something is
right.
definitely not, something's not right. He isolated himself for 5 or 6 months.
Mm.
His mom was in contact with the FBI the night before. This to have a manifesto and to be on such I guess, a delusional track of such solid belief is worrisome, and especially for
Mm.
someone who's 26 years old, which is a
Right,
very,
it's young.
very dangerous time in your life for mental health.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um,
Hmm.
so, and of course, yeah, I'm the psychologist and I'm jumping to mental health conclusions, but a lot of people are upset with the American healthcare system and they didn't decide to do that.
Right, exactly. The irony. Do you think, is there any way he's faking this because he knows to, you can pee yourself, this and that, mumble to yourself? Do you think there's potentially any conspiracy in there that he could, that if he was this smart, because that's the thing that a lot of people are having a hard time with. Okay, he got caught at the McDonald's. Of course, they say, the conspirators and TikTokulins are on there saying, well, on his X account, there was him with a Happy Meal. So was he, and he got caught at McDonald's. Was there some there? And then the number 286 and the Pokédex of Breloom, the little mushroom Pokemon he had, people were like, the 28615 is the code for an ankle injury or whatever, and his mom had that, and that was in his manifesto. So I don't
Yeah.
know. It's hard to tell what is up and what is down in this thing between conspiracy
Yeah.
theories.
And that might
But
be
yeah,
really true. Like a lot of very ill people become hyper focused on reading messages from numbers,
sure.
from piecing apart letters and paragraphs, right? We just have no idea. But um, I don't think it's a conspiracy theory. I think he's
Hmm.
probably unwell. I think it's just effing horrible that this has all happened, and I hope we
Right.
learn from it. And I hope the guy gets
Right.
like proper care.
Right, exactly. But I don't think they tied the same weapon that he used, because they said they uncovered a 3D printed weapon and that had some bullets and then the manifesto and whatnot. But that's what I'm wondering. His
Yeah.
lawyer, and then the whole thing, his lawyer is saying there's zero evidence, but it's also amazing to see the kind of money he has behind him to defend himself, which
Yeah.
also, it's just a little sus. It's almost like this was all ready to go. Because if this was some affluent kid who his parents had written off and they're like, "Nah, dude, he's crazy. We don't give him money for this stuff." But to right away have them come to bat for him, I don't know. The conspiracy theorist in my head still feels like there could be somebody more involved than just him. What do you think about that?
I wouldn't put it like out of the question,
Mm-hmm.
definitely.
Yeah.
But it does remind me of a lot of clients I've had who just really honed in on a specific idea. It wasn't necessarily grounded in reality, and they
Mm.
used a weapon against somebody, and they pleaded insanity, and that was the rest of their lives in
Wow.
hospitals.
What's worse, do you think? Pleading insanity or being in jail?
I mean, pleading insanity, at least you can show that you've resolved your insanity. So if you can show you're
Okay.
no longer insane, then you
Mm.
have the option of getting out. And some
Uh-huh.
do.
Interesting.
But I would say average is like 30 years plus. It's
I,
a
I
pretty
always
high bar to get out.
okay. I always heard a friend who said, if you ever commit a crime, somehow get a hold of a Snicker bar, put it in the back of your pants, let it melt, reach into the back of your pants and eat it, and plead insanity. And he said it works. Like supposedly it works every time. I don't know. Just a little life hack for you guys out there. But it makes sense. I don't know. What do you think, Dr. Leslie? Is that legit, or the old Snicker
Well,
bar and
the the real question is, did he know the wrongfulness of his action at the time that he
right,
did it?
right, exactly.
Did he know? Did he
Eh,
understand the consequences that could
It's
happen?
it looks like it did. I mean, it seemed cold and calculated. It was not something in the heat of the moment. Now, have you heard anything about the woman? You see her in the video, had her like Starbucks cup. She's like, oh my God, looks to be like 2 feet away from Brian Thompson and then runs quickly away. I'm kind of finding it odd that we haven't heard anything about her at all.
We haven't heard anything about her. And then the car next to him, somebody had their foot on the brake. So somebody was in that vehicle, if you look at the
Hmm.
lights. And so I don't, or maybe somebody was clicking unlock from a distance, but
Okay.
that vehicle was active, and I don't,
Interesting.
and then there's this such a long time span between it
Hmm.
happening and someone actually coming out.
Weird. And then he
So
didn't have
it is
gloves. Go
weird.
ahead. Yeah, the whole thing is odd. And he didn't have gloves on, which I just saw when I went back to watch the video again. And I'm like, why wouldn't he have gloves on?
Yeah.
That to me is one of the oddest things ever. Is that because he planned to hold on to the weapon? But who is that good and so calculated but doesn't have gloves on? How do you explain that?
Well, and even more disturbing, when he was walking to go do it, he
Hmm.
touched like a dirty trash bag,
Right. Yeah.
which
That
is,
like yeah. Because yeah, and then he had a Starbucks cup or something. Like it's just, and to leave the backpack behind, I don't know. It just seems slop. It's very orchestrated, but then it started so strong, but then ended so unorganized. Even getting caught in a McDonald's. What is he doing sitting
yeah.
dining inside a place? You know what I mean? Like I would be like, hey man, can I pay you to go inside? I got COVID and I don't want to get people sick in there. Can you go get me a egg
Yeah.
McMuffin? You know what I mean? Like, doesn't
Yeah.
it just that common sense doesn't it's not making sense to me at all. So it's funny. You can
Well,
be
and
so smart, and he went to Ivy League school or whatnot. He's a smart kid.
yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
It's
You
crazy,
can,
Dr. Leslie.
it
This is
makes sense to
crazy.
me. Makes sense that, it's not going to be perfect. He's not Jason Bourne. Maybe he really
Right.
wanted to be. But
Yeah,
we're going
that's
to
a good
keep,
point.
maybe we'll just keep finding more and more failings, or
Hmm.
inconsistencies, or he screwed up. He's not a pro.
Yeah, and I think you just brought up a good point. He's not Jason Bourne. But I think in our heads and our imaginations, we're so used to films that we think he is. We're like, oh my God, he just walked up, did that. He must have all these other skill set that he's got the computer and the BBB, and you're like, no, maybe he doesn't. You know what I mean? Maybe, yes, he got away with it, but it's not like the movies where these highly trained assassins.
Yeah, and even the really highly trained people they they mess up. I mean,
They're still
the guy
human.
on the roof, the guy on the roof who took down the guy who
Right,
hit Trump. I mean,
right.
that was an awesome shot. But that
Oh my God. That's a whole nother
that's
thing because
not,
we don't even know that guy's name. We know everything. That is odd that like they have no information, no social media, nothing on the Trump would be assassin, but we have everything on Luigi Mangione. I mean, we know what kind of underwear he wears, what kind of cereal he ate. It just makes no sense to me. It's so crazy. Now, what do you think about the TikTok ban, Dr. Leslie? And we'll round this thing out and I'll let you get back to healing people.
um if I had to put money on it, I would say that they're going to get really close to January 20th and they're going to make it
Okay.
public.
Okay. Okay.
And
Now you
then
think
I
they're
would
gonna
say
they're gonna go
bye, bye,
public.
bye.
Okay. Bye bye. Okay. So
No, I mean like
oh,
buy shares.
okay. That would be nice, right? Do you have any insider info on that? That'd be nice to buy in early on TikTok stock.
No, I'll find out though. I'll tell
Oh,
you.
hey,
Just you though.
actually, I'm just looking. We have people in the side chat. That's not right. I would need therapy for a job like that. I don't think he's human. This is just catching up. This definitely going viral. Secret
Yeah.
Service Sam got the freak off list. Thank you. I have already
It's
seen
not
this
the
list
freak
on
off
YouTube.
list.
Yeah, now hold on, guys. Allegedly, because Dr. Leslie is also confirming it is not the freak off list. Loved everyone from Melissa K. LOL. Luigi was super messy, in my opinion. That's what Melissa K just said. Thank you, Melissa, for that. And thank you guys in the live
Yeah.
chat. This is great. Cornelia's laughing his butt off, or her. Yeah, sorry about that, Cornelia. Melissa K is now laughing her butt off. So good for you. If you guys have any little last minute questions you want to ask us, Dr. Leslie, please do that now in the comments so we can share those. And so, Dr. Leslie, what else I had? Um, what are you thinking also about the SpaceX Elon Musk? Did you hear that he can't be trusted with government secrets? That they denied his SpaceX. They denied their I don't know what, I'm losing my words now. But he wanted, basically they don't think he can hold government secrets because he had a meeting with some foreign agents. And so they think he's a snitch. What do you think about Elon overall? Are you a Tesla kind of gal, or
Um, I'm mixed, right? I think he's
Oh, really?
brilliant
You're
and
mixed.
he
Okay.
has, yeah,
Half
he's
Tesla, half Rivian.
he's a brilliant, brilliant man, and he's
Right?
pushing
Yep.
the bounds of, I love the pushback. I think it
Right.
goes too far at times, and I don't think anyone should have that much power.
Right. I mean, but he's got all the money in the world, so that is power. Melissa Kay says, "Yes, you read my mind. I was about to ask about disclosure. What about disclosure, Melissa Kay? I don't know. What do you think, Dr. Leslie?
Disclosure.
Yeah, is that like deny, depose, defund? What is she? Be more specific,
The
Melissa. Come on, type
oh,
faster.
disclosure. I
Disclosure?
don't
Is
know.
that disclosure just in, I don't know. I don't
Is
know in
he
general.
can't is Elon Musk candid maybe?
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing, Lisa B, OMG, two of the best people right here. Thank you, Lisa B, right back at you.
Ooh.
The orbs. She wants to talk about the orbs. Yes, guys, there's the drones now, and then the orbs. I believe, allegedly, the drones are the U.S. government. People are saying that there's radioactivity. I saw a TikToker who actually had a reader, and it was going off the charts, and he basically was saying either this thing is broken or there's radioactivity. So the theory is drones are sniffing out
Yeah.
radioactivity, and maybe the orbs are here to protect us. What do you think, Dr. Leslie?
I Okay, so I encourage everyone to go onto Instagram and follow Rob D'Amico.
Okay.
He's ex counter drone FBI.
Okay.
So
Okay.
he ran the anti-drone. I can't even remember all of the titles. But he just like a week ago started an Instagram,
Okay.
and he's starting a podcast, and he is talking about what it was like in the FBI and his knowledge of the drones. And
Oh,
that is somebody I would believe over, random shit we see on other
agreed. Agreed.
platforms.
Yeah. No, and that's what, I've seen. The guy who said they were sniffers was this kind of guy on TikTok saying, I'm a military, I have contracts in the military, I've built these drones, this and that. And of course, who knows? But yes, I agree. We know so little, and we're all swapping ignorance
Yeah.
for the most part, it's like, it makes you want to go to drone school and actually really know what you're talking about. But then, I don't know. What do you think
Yeah,
about the orbs,
but
though, Dr. Leslie?
I don't know. I just don't want people to be shooting things in the air,
Yes, don't shoot anything
because
in
it
the air.
could be
That's a good
like
point.
an airplane. And I know that people have
Right.
actually started doing that. So don't do
Mm,
that would
that's
be,
a very good point. That is now
yeah.
that is something that's a public safety hazard. Shout out to Lisa B. Sampson. Love seeing you
Yeah.
on Sean Atwood every week now. You can thank Dr. Leslie for that because she hooked me up with Sean Atwood, and
Are
now
you
I'm on
are you
a
going
show
on
with
every week?
every Friday at noon. Tomorrow also, I'm actually working on a movie tomorrow, but I'm still gonna slide it in tomorrow noon to 2 with Ron Swanson. He's actually a pagan witch in Scotland. I had no clue,
Yes,
Leslie,
I'd
the
like
type of
to.
people you were hooking me up with. I'm like, what? A pagan witch?
um
Okay.
I think I made Ron really, really nervous, and I don't think he wants me back on the show.
I don't know how you made Ron nervous. He's a pagan witch. I'm nervous. He can cast a spell on you. You got to be nice to that guy.
He couldn't even come up with a question for me.
Oh, interesting.
I
Well,
know, I
have you had
know.
Beverly get into your head?
No, my friend
Uh,
is a medium though, and
okay.
I did let her, I recorded an episode with her that'll be on the
Okay.
show, and
Okay.
my grandpa was in the room, my dead
Oh,
grandpa.
wow. Oh, wow. How did you know he was in the
Yeah.
room?
You know, well, he like nudged her, you know, my friend Lisa,
Oh,
but
okay.
he also said things that there's no way she would know.
Wow. And that's that. Yeah. And I think you get a
Yeah.
kind of a inner feeling also, right? Like, did you feel his
Yeah,
presence?
oh no, I didn't, because I'm like
Okay.
dead inside.
I was just going to make that joke, but you made it for me. So thank you so much. That's hilarious.
But I did hear her words, so I
Okay. Okay. There you go. Now, Melissa Kay just said, apparently Terrence Howard makes orbs. What do you think, Dr. Leslie? Is Terrence Howard telling the truth?
Who's Terrence Howard?
He's the guy in what's the movie? Oh God, I'm forgetting it now. Not American. Oh, what the heck? The he was the pimp turned rapper with Ludacris, with the skinny who guys tell me in the comments what was the name of the movie? It won a Grammy or whatever for the song. It's hard out here for a pimp.
Oh,
It's hot out here for that crazy
is he in?
meth head actress, Terry Manning or whatever. What is it? Yeah, well, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Nothing. Guys, give me the name of the film. Do you have it in the comments? That's okay.
Is he in Kim Porter's book?
It's hard out here for a pimp. LOL is the name of the song. No, I don't believe so, but because he's fictional. But Terrence Howard was on Joe Rogan claiming that he had some. I don't know. He knew something about gravity that nobody knew, but it was debunked. So my point is, he was on the show
Oh.
Empire, but that's not the film I'm talking about. Thank you, Melissa Kay. But I think that was awesome today, Dr. Leslie. I don't want to keep you any longer. We are hitting the nice. Call me. I don't want to get the feed interrupted. But thank you again for joining
Yeah.
me. I have your social media up here. Guys, please subscribe to my YouTube if you haven't already. Subscribe to Dr. Leslie's YouTube. She has 30,000 already. Hustle and Flow is the movie. Thank you, Melissa Kay,
Hustle.
coming in. Hustle and Flow is the name of the movie. Look it up. Terrence Howard was in that. So thank you, Dr. Leslie, so much for joining me. It was really a pleasure having you. And I will be speaking with you soon, okay? You're the bomb.
Yeah, I'll text you in like 5 minutes.
Yeah, I will. And good luck out there. Stay unbanned on TikTok, you know what I mean? Thank you so
I
much.
will always, yeah, be safe.
What? No, you be safe, Dr. Leslie. Thank you, and you're awesome. Thanks for coming on again, and I want to see you on here again soon, all right?
Sure,
You got
anytime.
that? All right, thank you. Now I'm going to go to my outro.
Secret Service Sam, the podcast. It's Secret Service Sam, the podcast. It's not so